that like crackling, almost like a campfire, then you know that they're about to go.
My name's Andy Husbands, and I'm the Fearless Chef, and I'm here at Allandale Farms in beautiful Boston, Mass. Believe it or not, this place is absolutely beautiful. We were talking before that we could be in anywhere in America. It's just so beautiful. It's just so serene. It's fantastic. So I'm here catering a birthday party / barbecue, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity to talk about ribs. Before we talk about ribs, though, I actually want to talk about what barbecue is and kind of where it came from. Very interesting. You know, refrigeration's really only been around for about 40, 50 years. I'm not even exactly sure, but longer than I've been around, but not that much longer in the relative grand scheme of things. And ribs were not, and most, in fact, barbecue meats, the ribs, the Boston butt, otherwise known as the shoulder, were not meat that people really wanted. It was tough, sinewy, and it was kind of given to people like the sharecroppers, kind of like, here you go, just deal with them. And what they would do is, very ingeniously, put it above a smoldering fire all day while they would work the land and come back and have this really tender meat. And that is kind of how American barbecue came about. And it is actually one of the true American cuisines. There's a couple other ones that are around, but one of my favorite at least. So I'm going to talk about ribs. These are your baby backs here, and these are your spare ribs here. Now look, I mean, I don't know, which one would you rather have? I go here. This is what I think. Now, baby backs, the reason that Chili's or other places decided to use baby backs is they were really, really cheap. But now we see they're so expensive because there's such a high demand. But they're not any better. In fact, I would say they're probably not as good. Either way, we have our racks of ribs here. What we do is, and a lot of restaurants don't do this, we do it, but in competitions, everybody does it, is, I don't know if you can see this, but right here is this kind of the sinew that's in the back, and I take a paper towel, a napkin, and I can just pull it off. Just like that. Now, can I smoke it without doing that? Absolutely. Is it better by doing this? Of course it is. It is, you know, it's a little chewy, a little bite. Sometimes you'll see when you're eating your ribs, you'll see that kind of little, a lot of restaurants will kind of snap it off over a grill or something, but it just peels off. So when you're just doing, you know, 6, 7, 10 racks of ribs, I'd suggest you do that. When you start doing 500 racks of ribs in a shot, maybe you're not going to do that. So there we have our ribs ready to go. Now I have a secret rub mixture right here. As you can see, it says barbecue rub on it. And yes, the recipe is available at andyhusbands.com, of course. It's a mixture of paprika, chili powder, black pepper, a couple different types of sugar, garlic powder, and I'm just going to rub it on like so. Not a real heavy coating, but enough to cover it. And this is what you call your dry rub. I get both sides. On the spares, make sure you get underneath the flap right there. This is actually one of my favorite parts to eat. Right there, rub it on, nice and good. Like so. That's all you really need to do, prepare it. If we were doing chicken, I would do the same thing. You can do this with pork butts, you can do this with brisket. Different people like to do different styles of rubs. You see white rubs, they're all pretty good. You kind of need to find out which rub is best for you. For me, this is kind of my all-purpose rub, and it works real well. Kind of sweet, kind of spicy, and I think it really kind of, really brings out the flavors of the meat as well. So behind me is a smoker, as you can see. I think you can see. This is a Lang. I've had this for a couple years now. She's real good to me. I compete on her around the country, and I've got her at about 300 degrees, a little higher than I want it to be. So I'm going to shut it down a little bit, like so, and I'm going to open it up. As I said, I'm catering a barbecue, so I've already got some chickens in here and some ribs. And I'm going to just throw it in here, like so. There's a good smoker out there called a Weber Smoky Mountain I like a lot. The Big Green Egg is pretty good as well. In fact, it's very good. For a good home use, me being a chef, I've got to have the big toy. it will sit in there for about 3 to 4 hours. All right, so we're at Allandale Farms, and I'm doing this barbecue here, and I think my ribs are about ready. They've been smoking for about 4 hours. I'm gonna check them out. And what I'm looking for, I don't know if you can see these, but it looks like it's kind of almost sweating a little bit. It's the natural juices, as they say. And they look fantastic. Now, there's a couple ways to tell if they're done. Is one, by the sweating, but also how well they bend. Now, another thing I want to address, I addressed baby backs in general, is how ribs should be done, how I think they should be done, and how everybody in the barbecue circuit thinks they're going to be done. First off, I'm going to just take off, this is what they call the chine bone here. They use this for like trash ribs. It's not actually a quote-unquote rib. So, two things about ribs. First of all, there is no such thing as a boneless spare rib. I don't know if anybody knows that, but if you think about it, it's a little bit of an oxymoron. But about a rib and how you know when it's done. Now, people are often going to go, it's falling off the bone. That's actually a misnomer. What you want is, oh, that's delicious, is a mouth bite like this. So it's still kind of what they call they have big tug and little tug. I like a little tug. So you just put your mouth bite on it, and you can still see your marks of your mouth. That is a perfect rib. When it's falling off the bone, that's to me overdone. So what I like to do, now that we've got the ribs are done, I have this. Now, there's a lot of schools of thought. This is what you call a dry rubbed rib, right? And this is one style. People like this style. A Memphis style. But there's a Kansas City style where it's more wet. I kind of like a little bit of both. So what I use is my top secret rib glaze right here. I'm just going to spread a little bit on. A little bit of sweet, a little sour. Very, very good. I'll just take it like that. And I'm going to serve it just like that with some biscuits, tomato salad. It's pretty good. Well, maybe I got my friend Dave come over here. Because you always got to make sure that they're good. And, you know, I'm the chef. Of course I'm going to say it's good. But there you go, Dave. This is for my friend Dave. He's helping me out today. What do you think, Dave?
That is amazing.
It's good?
That is the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm Andy Husbands. I'm the fearless chef, taking the fear out of the kitchen, and that were my barbecue ribs. Thank you. Do I have barbecue rub on my face? No? Good.
No, but you got a piece of parsley stuck in your tooth.
Do I? Be surprised.